This quarter of SEN football for Tyre Power. Tyre Power gives you the power to buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Kumo passenger car tyres.
Half-time here at Docklands Stadium in the middle of Melbourne. Kangan Institute. Half-time break, real education, real skills, real jobs. Kangan.edu.au. Western Bulldogs. Casey just joined us, 8-9-57. Lead the Bombers, 7-10-52. It's been a spectacular half of footy. A lot to look forward to in the second half. Nick Del Sano and Andy Marr, David Schwartz and Danny Frawley just taking a little spell. I feel like on behalf of, well, you and I don't need to apologise, but it was Anthony Hudson who came in. He's having a little spell from his Fox footy duties and was just completely undisciplined in the back of the box.
It was excited, wasn't he? And he raided our fridge, grabbed a few freebies on the way through.
He did. Top 5, Del.
Top 5.
The SEN Tyre Power player of the day. These will be the top 5 in the running for that. Tyre Power gives you the power to buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Kumo passenger tyres. Get down to Tyre Power Werribee, where Paul and Andy will give you the very best advice to find you the best deal for your car. Who are the 5 that are in the running for the Tyre Power?
In no particular order.
Well, I'd prefer you to do it 1 to 5, but
okay.
You can just throw 5 up.
Here they are.
Right,
I've got Biggs and McRae. From the Bulldogs. Both have been fantastic. Biggs, 19 possessions at this stage of the game, half-time, so he's up for a big one. And I really like McRae. He's had 14 disposals, 7 of them kicks, 7 handballs, obviously, 6 marks, going at 100%, and he's had 4 clearances.
Clean,
so I like that. In a game that's red hot, he's been really clean. But I've got Stewart for the Bombers. I've got Hurley and Danaher. So I love Stewart, and I complimented him during the call. His mobility and his ability to work in with Danaher in a combination. He's a little bit further up the ground. He does a lot of the grunt work, the lead-ups, the duck-backs, and Danaher capitalises closer to goal. So I love the way they've both been working together, but they get an individual award at halftime each. And Hurley, I just thought, in the first quarter, Bontempelli probably nullified his influence, only because Hurley had to pay a lot of attention to him. Didn't want to let Bontempelli free because he couldn't get across to help others in case Bontempelli got it. Bontempelli moves into the midfield, which he has to do at some stage, gives him a different look going through the mid as a tall mid. But I thought Hurley's presence, particularly late in that second quarter, was fantastic. So they've all had really good quarters, but there's been so many at this point, hasn't there, Radar? There's been a lot of players that have had great highlights, maybe because it's been so free-flowing. Everybody's had an opportunity to show what they're really good at, their elite skills, their elite goal kicking, their marking, whatever it may be. So a lot of players have stood out. But we've got ourselves a ripping last half. And sometimes we say this, but you feel in this game, and I've been in a situation where you've been in these games where it's up and back and it's really fast. It takes a toll. It takes a toll.
So who do you reckon, which of these two teams, if the tempo of this one tries to stay at the breakneck speed that it's gone at so far, which of these two sides is better suited?
I think the Bombers can play a faster brand of football for longer, and as the fatigue comes, the pace can slow down a little bit, but you actually have more free options because it's so hard to continually chase and defend. So I think the game might even open up a little bit earlier than it does probably traditionally in most games. So I'm thinking halfway through this third quarter, 15 minutes in, there's going to be some more open passages of play. The team that can work really hard to the wings to open up the corridor, slice back through the middle, and that'll only allow Danaher, Hooker, Stewart probably more opportunities to have one-on-ones.
SEN Matchworks Recruit of the Year, connecting people to jobs, matchworks.com.au. There's 4 in consideration for that. Travis Cloak, Lewis Young from the Bullies, and Andy McGrath and James Stewart from the Bombers, based on Dell's Tyre Power top 5. You'd reckon James Stewart is leading that quartet. Let's get down to Brett Anderson, who is downstairs for poweryourbbusiness.com.au. Thankfully so far, BA, relatively a clean bill of health.
Very much so, Andy. Nothing really to report on either side for both the Bulldogs or Essendon. Lucas Webb did tweak an ankle very late in that second quarter in a marking contest on the wing with Michael Hurley, but he continued to play on. No real need for the doctors or the physios to get out, but he did limp for a slight period there, and that's basically all there was in the second quarter on the injury front for Sleep Dentistry Melbourne. Very quiet overall. You have been talking about the ability of both teams to run out the game at such high intensity, the way that first half was played. A lot of work done on the Bulldogs bench on calves, and a lot of work done on hamstrings with massage on the boundary line. Not so much on the Essendon side, so that might be something they do have up their sleeves. But we saw the way that the Bulldogs ran out in the final series last year. They're more than capable of keeping it up through 4 quarters. So looking forward to another cracking second half. Hopefully it's the same as the first.
Let's hope so, particularly from an injury perspective, and a clean bill of health would be great. Might just get you, if you can, before the opening bounce, to give us the interchange numbers, mate, just to let us know how both clubs have been using the bench, how they're situated in terms of their 90 available, because I reckon they're going to want to keep a few up their sleeve in the second half of this one. The opening bounce for Tyre Power, not too far away. Tyre Power gives you the power to buy 3, get 1 free on selected Kumo passenger car tyres. Granted weather for Charlie Battisti and Co. Melbourne's finest prestige vehicle repair facility. Players breaking to their relative positions.
But yeah, can you just give us a quick update when you get an opportunity on Goddard? I watched him run out late out of the halftime race. He didn't come and join with the boys when they ran out. He's currently wearing a warm-up, wearing a warm-up jacket, sitting on the bench.
I'm going to ask him over the top. You wonder if he'll answer.
He's pretty
BJ's very polite. He'll understand that question.
No, he's got the jacket on. We'll keep an eye on this one, because that would be a massive blow if he is done.
Second half just about to start. Let's see who can win this must-win game. There's Wallace and Watson. They go head-to-head trying to get the loose ball, and umpire says, mine please. Good work by both. This is a huge game in the ramifications of if and the possibility that either of these sides, if not both, these sides could play finals after the Bulldogs' amazing season last year. We'll have another ball up. Bombers, they're just trying to put things back together after suspensions and what has been probably the worst 4 or 5 years in the club's history. Zaharakis on that occasion got it down. Coming through there was Watson. Couldn't get it out. Heppel over the top of him. And the umpire says, give it to me. A Bulldog player here that might have just got one in the eye. Looked like McRae. He's okay. Left eye just giving it a bit of a dust off. Up they go again. Bell Chambers got it down. Watson good at ground level. Gave it on to Heppel. He had Collier out wide. Now they're running the Bombers, and one of those was Myers. Puts it out wide again. Good work. And Stewart, who's been outstanding this afternoon, he'll go in short. Not the best kick. Hooker. And over the boundary line it goes.
And fair enough, Danaher's standing at the top of the goal square on Biggs. Just a hand there saying, if you feel like it, just lob it up towards me. I should be able to do it from there. Don't chip it into the pocket.
Hooker thought he'd won himself a free kick there. But it was just his man bum that copped a bit of a clip. Up they go. Rough head. Nice young Hooker. Got it down. Merritt. Good smother. Beautifully done. And the Doggies, they clear it. They go out wide. And in fact, they try to keep it in. They do. Pickens there. Got it out now. Hunter. He'll go in short. He's got it loose. Didn't find him though. Doggies are under a bit of pressure. Heppel, good by hand. Got it on to Watson, to Zaharakis. Bombers are running now to Bagley. Over the top to Merritt. Zigzags, goes one way. He's at 50. Got Carell, good work. Hooker's there loose. He gives it back. Coming through there was...
No right foot.
Was Myers. He goes in short, and guess who? You know what? You get it in quick and long and strong, and Danaher will take a grab.
Yeah, well, Dal, you called it. Matty Suckling taught the goal box.
He's kicked it. That's how you talk it. He's got his fifth. Danaher unstoppable here at Etihad Stadium. They're in front. They move on to 58. The Doggies 57. Talk us through it, Spud.
Well, Matty Suckling, just keep away from Danaher. You've got no idea how to defend the high ball. I'll be going out to Eastern Wood and saying, mate, you need to stand up now. You need to double team. We've got a young defender on Danaher. I don't care who you're on. You ought to compete in the air with Danaher. Matty Suckling, you keep at least 50 metres away from Danaher because you've got no idea. That Chemist Warehouse replay, have a look at it, Del. Just watch Matty Suckling.
Long kicks in from Myers.
You are an absolute good young halfback flanker, but not a good defender.
So the restart, Wallace drives it out towards half forward. Good use. Finds Hunter, just a half a kick too far out to score. Drives it high and long in towards full forward. Dropping back early, doesn't take the mark. Feeling for the footy with the Bombers. Myers got it to Heppel, to Zaharakis, back to Myers. Fumbled the footy. Saw Bonapelli coming at him. Bonapelli at ground level tried to farm it out to Wallace. Myers wrapped it up. We'll have a ball up about 30 out from the Western Bulldogs goal.
You can't fumble. You cannot fumble.
He also only has 1 foot.
Yeah.
The right foot's there for balance at the moment, but he's so worried about getting back onto his preferred. He could have just come with the flow of play out to the boundary on his right foot.
Bell Chambers won the hit but got it to Wallace only. Daniel sharked by Watson. Heppel tries to go through the pack, but Pickett wrapped him up. Off hands, 50 out. We'll have a throw in.
I'd be getting out the zone, out to Cordy too, because his body language on Danaher is not great. Gee, Fletcher Roberts must be out of form. for the Bulldogs. This is the best key defender
they've got no other option right now, Spud, in regards to a key defender. No, on the field. On the field.
Yeah.
Biggs runs onto the crumb, tried to find Young out the back. The Bombers turn it over, however. Fantasia to Merrick, thread to handball over the top, standing his ground was Suckling. Excellent tackle from Zaharakis. Throws, says the umpire. Bombers win the free kick right in the middle of the Docklands. Zaharakis looks to go quickly. Out in front is Stewart. He's marked just about everything thus far. Good stuff from Easton Wood. Rallying to Spud's call. Daniel at ground level.
He's got it now. Looks in short to Biggs now. Goes back to Daniel. Got those little pistons pumping. Goes long up towards Bontempelli. He'll take this. Good mark over the top and didn't. Gave it off to something he wanted to. He decided to pull the trigger. He goes back. Oh, what a kick! Dixon marked. He'll go in. Oh, he's playing well. Dixon's got 3. Bontempelli once again take a bow. Oh, well done, Western Bulldogs. They move on to 9-9-63. The Bombers 8-10-58. That's on the SEN anytime. Fitness scoreboard, boys.
Well, you called it spot on, Ox. Bontempelli marks the ball 60 metres out. He's got 2 options. 2 options inside forward 50.
He didn't panic, did he?
He picks the right option every time. He's only had 11 disposals thanks to Dodo. He's used every single one of them. He's kicked, well, I'll take that back. He's kicked 3 behinds, so he hasn't used every single one of them. But he has set up teammates. He puts teammates in better positions to either distribute it or go for goal. That was just an amazing kick on his left foot. The easy option was go towards the pocket on the near side, across his body to the fat side of the ground. Charlie Dixon. Oh, sorry, not Charlie Dixon. Tory Dixon. I'm sure Charlie Dixon liked that delivery as well.
Brendan Goddard back on too, Nick. I think he was just a bit cold.
Thanks.
It can happen
under
here.
the roof.
It can happen here under the roof.
For Power Your Business, a ground level 50-50 ball. Umpire let him play. Heppel missed the target. That was Hooker. Coming hard to meet the footy was Easton Wood. Got a bad bounce. Ball got away from him. 40 out from the Bombers' goal. Scrimmage. Umpire lets them play. Ball finds a way of getting free. Wallace wrapped up by Hooker. Through they go. 2 of them tackling now the Bombers. They keep it inside forward 50. We'll have another stoppage. Third quarter for Tyre Power. Gives you the power to buy 3, get 1 free. Selected Kumo. Passenger car tyres.
Bulldogs playing 6 forwards in front of the footy now, so happy to go man on man.
Bell Chambers beautiful. Out to Zaharakis. Myers on the left foot. Drives it to the line. Danaher! Got out the back. Read it better than Easton Wood. Took the mark.
No, he's getting out coach at the moment, Luke Beveridge. You can't. Danaher is too good to play one-on-one.
He'll look to swing around quickly here on the right side for a lefty.
This is his easiest kick of the day.
He'll take 2 or 3 steps and
Easiest kick of the day.
Beveridge has got to do something, guys. He's got to double team Danaher. It's as simple as that.
The umpire should call play on if he walks off the line. And this going back and resetting them. Anyway, comes around the body now. He's got it across the face and missed.
You know what? He had to get close to the man on the mark.
Spot on. Spot on.
He got back too far. He closed his angle down.
How far do they need, Ox? 1 or 2 metres?
2 metres.
9-9-63, 8-11-59, SEN Anytime Fitness scoreboard. You up to the challenge? Dare yourself to join Anytime Fitness
Johannesson's doing the kick-ins now. He goes long, but they thump it back. The Bombers. Hooker got it. Zaharakis fumbled. Shocking fumble too, and Johannesson's now off. He's on his bike. He has one bounce, and Zaharakis, he's got windburn. Goes long up the line towards Murphy. Good contest, 1-on-1 with Bagley. Ball's going to hit the ground. Oh, Bob, really good recovery. Turns Goddard inside out, then goes in short. That Cloak could mark inside the centre square. He wants to give it to Suckling. He decides to go his own. Up towards Pickett. Didn't take it. Easton Wood, Dixon's there. Up, tackled. Myers, good work. Umpire says mine. Gee, good play, Spud.
Well, it was. And look, Pickett got double teamed. The Bulldogs have had 8 marks inside their forward 50 dealt. Danaher's taken 6.
Yep.
Play the odds. You've got a double team number 6. You're going to lose the game.
Chemist Warehouse replay showed that Pickett was taken high up. I said, don't worry about that. Webb tackled ball up again.
Well, Spud, we just said the Dogs have now got 6 forwards in front of the footy, which is great. Structurally, it means you're always going to get a 1-on-1. Is it worth bringing one of them behind the ball?
Well, comes down now. Hang on, just give me a sec, boys, because Pickett's got it. He snaps up towards goal, 1-on-1. There's Webb. Good work there by Gleeson. He wants to keep it alive. He might have taken it out of bounds. Up fire! No way!
He got it!
No way! He got sucked in! And the free kick goes to Hunter from the Dogs.
No,
it was accidental.
It was an accidental kick off his boot.
Shocking
come on.
The old sucker punch.
They've been good umpires.
Hunter comes in. He snaps!
That's right.
SEN Chisholm game and goal of the year! At least of the day.
Yep.
Good work there by Hunter. The Doggies have got their 10-9-69. Bombers 8-11-59. Crap decision. Great execution by Hunter.
That's why the umpires have been outstanding today. It's the first time we've mentioned them. Just have some game sense, guys.
That's accidental.
It fell off his hands, it hit the toe of his boot and rolled end over end. The football is unpredictable.
What about the theatre of the umpire? He comes in and he gets down and then he almost flexes the biceps as he goes, as he paddles it towards the boundary.
Great finish by Hunter, though.
A little bit of Huey Bowman from Lockie Hunter as well.
Really?
The crowd, yes.
Gee.
Give it to the crowd. So back in the restart, McRae tries to farm it back to Roughhead. They've kicked a couple in a row here, Dixon and Hunter.
So Dale, just to answer your question before about Danaher. No,
Yes.
I wouldn't put an extra back, but I'd be saying on half-back flanker, whoever's not getting a lot of the ball, whoever it is, drop off and help in the air.
Dale gets it to teammate running past McLean.
Cannonball.
Yeah, big body use off the ball from Murphy, who was fourth in line, interfered in the marking contest.
Good call.
With Gleeson.
That's not 50.
No, it's not. He's trailed his man through the contest.
No, his man went around the back.
But
Yeah, have a look at the
man went
chemist
around
warehouse,
the
guys.
His man technically did, but if you take him into the protected area.
Watch the chemist warehouse.
No,
guys.
I'm agreeing with you. He definitely went through the mark, but
We'll walk through it,
He's
talk
just-
through
he-
it for the listener.
so Bob Murphy's throwing the ball back.
See? He went round the back and he went through.
so the handball laid off to Hurley, who misses
Jeez.
it. Shocking kick. Doesn't even get to the line. Off hands out of bounds, let a throw in.
I'm agreeing with you, Spud. He did go through the mark, but he's been taken in there by his opponent,
But
who
his
ducks
opponent
around.
went round the back, mate.
He's still within arm's reach.
No, but you still can't
Sorry.
go through. You've got to follow him.
That's the
They're
interpretation.
both still within the protected
Mate,
area.
he had to go around the guy with the ball.
So the throw in, 10 out, chance, Parrish, Watson, handballs it out to Stewart, looks to handball it further afield to Collier, should kick the goal, drags it across the
You know
face
what?
too far behind.
Tried to snap it. He had to straighten up and kick a drop punt.
10-9-69 the Western Bulldogs, 8-12-60 the Bombers, 11 and a bit gone. Third quarter for Tyre Power gives you the chance to buy 3. Get 1 free on selected Kumo passenger car tyres at Tyre Power.
Johannesson plays on. He's now down back. Oh, it goes in short with an absolute bullet to McRae.
That wasn't meant
They're
for him.
running now. Good work, Beggs. Gets it on now. Got loose players over the top, but Wallace isn't quick enough. And Bagley is. He gets back. Plays on now. Bagley wants to switch on. Dangerous. Bob Murphy's away to it. Shocking kick, Bagley. Great work, Bob. Takes a mark, 40 out directly in front. He'll kick from. Horrible play by Bagley. Everybody in the stadium knew it was coming except for him.
I reckon even he knew that he shouldn't have kicked it, you know.
Oh, well, if he did, it's just.
Yeah.
It's sort of
That's
second
horrible.
He knew the idea was to switch the ball, just couldn't find someone to kick it to.
Second shot of goal for Murphy for today. Comes in. He's got to kick this one.
How good's that?
Yeah, he does.
How good's that?
3 in a row for the Dogs. Bombers in strife. And the margin's 15-11-9, 75. Essendon 8-12-60. It's on the SEN Anytime Fitness scoreboard. Talk us through that one, Spud.
Well, I'll give you a little
Del.
summary on that one, Ox. You're often told in one side, out the other, and what that basically means, if the ball gets kicked into your defensive 50, defensive half, try and take the ball out the open side, because that's where the space is. We can attack from the other side of the ground. So that's in theory.
Yep.
That's when you set up Witches hats at training, Spud. But in game situation, you can see Bagley's eyes. They were darting around. Where's my free man? How can we get overlap? How can we get out the open side? If it's not there, the game situation means you kick it long down the line.
Yep.
You play percentages, play safe.
Have a listen to this Dodo stat. 2 Essendon players this quarter have had an effective kick. 2.
For the entire term.
Third-
The entire term.
13 minutes into the third quarter.
One's Myers and the other one is Danaher.
Well, they need to tidy that up very
kick.
quickly. The Doggies are going to drive it inside forward 50 again. Dale wins the free kick at half forward. Puts it
great
into corridor looking for Dixon and had his name all over it until Tip and Woody jumped in front and took a good necessary
But
defensive
they're so
mark.
quick at setting up the Dogs. Tip and Woody couldn't even play on them if he wanted to.
Now they've had 3, now 4.
Gleeson pokes it over top to Collier. They're out of defensive 50, but he has to stop again. It's quarter for Tyre Power. Gives you the power to buy 3, get 1 free on Kumo. Passenger car tyres. He drives it up to the wing. Pack, fly, ground level. Daniel tries to farm it over top to Williams. He can't go with it. Bombers have got numbers at ground level. Fantasia needs to get busy. Watson Handballs it out the back to Collier. Takes on the would-be tackler. Takes on a couple. Has a bounce. Then a scrappy-looking left foot kick. Going to be cut off here. Eastonwood can't take it with him. Good support running from Roughhead. Gathers it. Goes to centre half forward. 2-on-2. Hurley read the danger. Out the back. Did well. Gets it to McKenna. McKenna pokes it out wide to Parrish. Centre wing, they're away.
Parrish has got it now. He's got Zaha Rakus out wide. He's going to go to him. He can play on. He drops it. He marks it. He goes inside now. Beautiful kick. Oh, no. He stuffed it.
He's messed this up.
I reckon he stuffed it. He's kicked it. He's played on inside the goal square.
Well, Hooker's setting up the zone.
And I reckon it's been touched on the
review. Umpire's call is touch behind. Please check.
That is the biggest stuff up of the year.
It's a complete brain fade.
Have a look at this.
On the Chemist Warehouse replay. We'll have a look at this.
Wow. This
discovered a new David Beckham fragrance. Respect from.
And Zaha Rakus is coming off the ground too, guys.
That's got Castagnas covered from yesterday on the Gold Coast.
It's hit young Shin.
That is unbelievable.
Well,
I'm behind as a result.
Well, he's not a natural forward, is he?
Hooker?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
gee
That's what I'm
whiz.
saying.
Well, they needed a goal. That is burnt, an absolutely necessary goal. And the Dogs one into the other. Beautiful gather from Webb. Gets it to Dalhouse.
I love him.
Back to Webb. He's a good left-sided player from 51 into the pocket. That is magnificent.
I love Spud Webb.
The gather then, the use to Hunter,
it's
who
good
marks
basketball.
25 out. Brilliant stuff.
Well, this will be an 11-point turnaround because the ball should have been in the centre from Hooker. No forward craft whatsoever. The ball's gone straight down the other end with absolute outstanding play from Webb. One-handed pluck, picked the ball up and straight over the top to Hunter.
He's my new favourite, Webb.
Spud Webb is a good basketballer.
Oh, he's a gun.
Same height.
Hunter shouldn't miss this. He's a beautiful kick from about 30.
Missed it.
That's a shot.
Andy, don't put that on him.
Well, he shouldn't have missed it.
No,
Simple
you're
as
right.
that.
Wakes up for the last one.
Should not have missed it. 11-10-76 the Bullies, 8-13-61 the Bombers, 16 gone. SEN Anytime Fitness scoreboard. Are you up to the challenge? Dare yourself to join Anytime Fitness today.
Hurley goes long and hard and low and finds Parrish outside 50. He wants to get in. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. Oh, it's a good kick though. Found Danaher inside the square. In fact, it was Watson. He goes long. Watson goes to tip and Woody. He got a little bit lucky. Stewart's on the move. Great movement, Essendon. Orazio Fantasia marks 40 out directly in front. 3 risky kicks that have paid off for a shot at goal.
Well, they were risky, but I actually like them, Ox, because you got to take those opportunities, don't you, Del?
You do. Yep, you do. It's high risk, high reward.
Yep.
And if Orazio can finish this, it's a perfect passage of play because the easy option was long down the line, back through the middle to Joe Watson. Had 4 or 5 dogs about to pounce on if he had missed it.
Hasn't had a scoring shot yet today, old Orazio.
He's kicked 36 for the year. And he'll remain on 36 because that was off the side of his boot. He hasn't had the greatest afternoon.
1 goal 4 for Essendon this quarter for Dodo.
Margin is now 14. 76 plays 62 on the SEN Anytime Fitness scoreboard.
So Suckling to bring it back in. All of those stats thanks to Dodo Stats. Dodo Superfast NB and call 13 Dodo now. Suckling plays on, runs himself into a tiny bit of trouble, had Biggs to support. He drives it up towards Murphy and Hurley. Ground level Goddard. Good enough to run in free kick advantage paid. I'm not sure why the umpire blew the whistle in the end. Biggs wrapped up by McDonald, Tip and Woody. Put it on the ground. Williams, umpire gave him some slack. Goes across the face right to the last line. Lewis Young marks. Plays on. Goes one way, then the other. Runs himself into a little dead end. But just kept his head on his shoulders. Waited for something to present. Dixon did. Nice work from the young fella.
Important to keep your head on your shoulders.
Yes, it is.
Always.
It is. Dixon from half-back drives it up towards the wing, outer side of the ground. Big pack fly, Heppel at ground level, can't take it. Roughhead gets the secondary crumb, gets it to McRae. He's been very good. Ball use outstanding on the right foot. In towards Bonampelli. He's got one across the face. Danaher, Suckling, ground level. Probably a bad kick in the end. Goddard gets around the tackle. That was Dalhouse. Threads the handball over the top to Parrish, to Stewart. Now they burst through the middle. McKenna, he's got one out the back. Off to the races goes Orazio. The ball bounces, and he's kicked the goal.
Oh, he hurt himself. He kicked his ball into his foot into the goalpost too.
Well, he got it done in the end, and they nearly turned a gilt-edged goal scoring opportunity into a high fast, but Orazio was good enough to toe poke it just before it hit the goalpost, I reckon. And the Bombers get the key goal that they badly needed. 11-10, 76 the Bulldogs 9, 14-68 the Bombers. 19 minutes gone, third quarter.
I'm not sure if he was limping on the running back to. Oh no, he's done it. He's just a little hyperextension maybe on that kick off the goal line. I don't like that. The bit I was umming and ahhing about is he allowed it to bounce, but he's running back towards goal. Thought he could have got there on the mark. Ran his last 5 or 10, but he got the result. Well done.
Back in the middle. Let's see what they got now. Myers, good spin. Got it to Zaharakis. Slammed it up towards inside 50. Hooker up. You want to take it back. Collier, ground level. Tip and Woody to Collier. Collier's inside. Bombers, Collier!
What a goal!
SEN Chisholm gave a goal of the day! Pick the winner of this game if you can. 10-14-74 the Bombers. Western Bulldogs 11-10-76. Gee, Dallin spun for Jing Hang. Who knows what's going to happen here?
No, you won't. It's impossible to pick Ox because they were 1 goal 4, and then all of a sudden, bang, bang. 2 goals within a minute. And it's been their hands, Del. Have a look at this for Dodo. 31 kicks, 37 handballs. It's been the handballs that are going forward or laterally for guys on the fly.
Yep, aggressive through ball handballs, aren't they?
Yep, not the ones out the back, the ones on the fly.
Gee, it's spectacular stuff. It hasn't relented. We're expecting this game to find these players out at some stage, but they are pushing through. McLean to Johannesen, takes him on.
Look at the
Look at him leave a couple behind. Second bounce through the wing, goes in towards centre forward. Bad kick, not the measure of the aggressive running, but it's down the field.
Coming back.
Pushed him in the back.
Coming back to Johannesen.
Against Zaharakis.
Yeah, and it was there, and it's a let-off too because the Bombers had marked the ball and were ready to counter-attack that.
So Johannesen,
It's a good chase by Zaka.
he was burnt for a minute, so he stuck at it. He goes short to Wallace, in between wing and half forward, out of side. Goes all the way back to Suckling now, defensive side of centre. He'll continue to switch to Cordy. Plays on, needs to use it well. That's a shocking kick. Absolutely terrible kick.
Yeah.
McDonald tipping Woody. The turnover's on. No, they're not. Dogs got around it. Swarmed it back their way. Pickett goes in towards full forward, but Hurley reading the danger. Magnificent intercept grab.
Nah, it was. Had to go to the square to Bonampelli. Gee, keep it away from Hurley.
He gave it off. He's been very, very good. Bombers just working their way off half back now to McGrath. He goes one way, has to retreat. Zaharakis been really busy, goes in short. Oh no! Bell Chambers heard noises he didn't like. Got it back to Goddard, to Bell Chambers, to McGrath. Goddard to Tipper Woody. Bombers building over the top. Stewart! He didn't take it all! He muffed it up!
That was a good spoil too, Ox.
Oh, they had their chance. What happened there?
Well, Stewart didn't put his knee in, Ox.
Well, he's got to use his knee, Spud.
Well, what he did, Ox, was he allowed the defender to come in. Just put your foot out.
11.
Put it in his throat.
11-10 plays 10-15, 22 gone, third quarter. Clokey, third man up at centre half back, pushed up, takes the mark, sees something he likes further afield. He won't like the kick. It was an absolute stinker towards Dixon off the sideline, the ball in.
No, that's all it is, because a bad kick. But Ox, you were frustrated because it's exactly what you would have done if I was standing there.
You've got to sit on your head. Just put the knee in the back of your spine.
Straight to the back of the scone.
You're still sitting on the ground trying to rub your back.
Exactly.
Throw in, centre wing. Hunter rode the tackle. Gee, he'll let that tackle roll, and it did go high in the end. And it's going to be a free kick to Lockie Hunter.
And Stewart's been good, so
no, he has, but
had a good
that's not his go contested mark. He needs to learn that though.
Handballs it to Suckling.
Here we go.
Drives it in towards a 3-on-2. Fist, high ball, Dogs, Murphy. Bit of time and space to move to McLean. Backtracking, looking for Suckling. Keeps it alive. Gives it back to Murphy. Murphy sees Johannesen across the field. Johannesen jumped over the top.
He's got this.
McDonald tipping Woody takes on that.
Well, he'll kick this. This is where he kicked his first goal of the game, exactly at this spot, probably on our side, but again, it's only a matter of accuracy for Johannesen.
50 metres is good distance for him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been a revelation today.
Boys, an issue with Razio Fantasia after that goal. He has gone down to the change rooms with the doctors and physios, an issue with his knee.
Yeah, it was
Knees,
hyperextended,
okay.
Del.
Well picked
You're
up,
right.
Del.
Injury update for Sleep Dentistry Melbourne.
Dr. Del.
sleepdentistrymelbourne.com.au. Johannesen
You can do no wrong, Del.
has kicked a couple. He kicks from 51. He looks like he's
got
hit it
it.
pretty well. And he turned around and loved his work straight away.
Yes.
kicks his third. It's another SEN super goal. 9-4, 2-9, 11-16. Going to the draw for the LG split system, valued at $1,700. Thanks to our friends at Air Conditioning Warehouse Sales. Big brands, best prices.
What about the kick from Bob Murphy?
How good was that? You're right. If you had to kick that in, outnumbered situation, just had the vision, Ox, to go to. Now, he's only had 11 disposals, but now what Luke Berridge has done has put Johannesson back. So, red alert for John Worsfold. He's got his running game back. He's kicked 3 goals. He's had 7 scoring assists out of his 11 disposals. He's one of the better players on the ground, Johannesson.
Well, 3 goals, and he's a noted half-back flanker. That's a great result, and probably one that John Worsfold didn't see coming in. Back in the middle, Cloak, up. Good work there by Wallace. No, better work there by Watson. Got it out to Merritt. Merritt drove it inside, attacking 50. Hooker's up, so is Easterwood. Ball into ground. Hooker there again. Got it. Snapped. Carl Hooker!
He made up for that blunder, Ox.
He did. Beautiful work. Beautiful snap. This is one hell of a seesawing affair here at Etihad Stadium. Margin a point. Bombers 81. Doggies 82 on the SEN Anytime Fitness scoreboard.
Well, it's fair to say Hooker probably owes him at least one, if not a couple, after a few of his efforts, and particularly that one on the goal line. But just really good craft.
3 up and 1 down.
Exactly. And if you're going to go up, Spud, as you know, as a defender, you have to get the thing as far away as possible. It went straight up in the air. Hooker's waiting down. Nice little snap dribble goal from 15 out.
We liked it too.
He always likes it, Ox.
He's not bullying Young on this occasion.
He's not rubbing any heads.
No.
This game is OD'd on adrenaline. It has not let up today.
Terrific game.
12, 10, 82, 11, 15, 81. We've been going 25 and a half minutes into the third quarter.
Oh, nice bounce.
It was. Bonampelli into the middle. Gets it, goes one way, then the other. Had Johannesson decided to wheel back onto his left. Daniel pushed up. Marks, centre wing. Looks for something immediately. Goes inboard. Suckling Marks. Wanted to give it. There was nothing there. In between wing and half forward. Drives it long to the top of the square. Cloak using his body. Goes up. Ball at ground level. Chance for Picken. Tried to farm it out the back to Murphy, who smothered the Gleeson kick. Lever throwing about 25 out from the Bulldogs goal.
Well, the Dogs are equal worse in the competition for inside 50 conversion at 21%. They've had 22 scoring shots from 38 inside 50s to this point. Not an issue today at all.
Rough head. Kelly, ball batted down by Wallace, kept it alive, goes looking for McLean, to Caleb Daniel, tries to hit it around the body, doesn't get enough on it, into the pocket, Cloak took 2 with him, off hands, out of bounds. 10 out from the Bulldogs.
Ox, how have you seen Cloak's game, or even just his contest and effort?
I think he's been okay.
Yeah.
I think he's been okay. He hasn't been great, but he hasn't been poor.
But just those ones, he's going up against 2 or 3 Bombers defenders there.
Effort,
just make it come to ground. Don't let the Bombers mark it and take it out of the defensive.
Fantasia back, boys, on the bench.
Rough head, Belchambers, chance, Libba, round the body, goal!
What about that?
Magnificent strike.
What about the tap?
From Tommy Liberatore. Talk us through it, Spud. 13-10, 88 the Doggies. 11-15, 81 the Bombers.
Well, it was rough head. Belchambers has rapped really well all day. And, actually it was Belchambers. And the rough head was going there as well. So what it was is Liberatore just read it beautifully. Because Ruffhead was going and Belchambers actually tapped to him.
Well, that's really poor by Belchambers, unless they've got a tactic that they want to knock it forward. But that's where the opposition, that's the aggressive spot for the offensive team, not the defensive team.
I thought it was actually a good tap by Ruffhead, but I'm wrong. It was actually Belchambers dominated the tap, but went to a very ordinary area.
In your D50, if you're Belchambers, you normally like to knock it to your defensive hip or just forward towards the boundary.
4 minutes of play left in the third term here at Etihad. McRae couldn't pick it up. He ran over the footy, but Liberatore puts his head over the top. Zaharakis wraps him up. Says that's okay. Umpire's going to give them plenty of time. Merritt couldn't get it out. McRae got it this occasion. Still bumbling around. Here it comes now. Goddard got it. Caleb Daniels in and under like a little terrier. Got underneath Goddard. Liberatore like a little fox terrier.
He's got his appetite back, Libba.
Spot on.
Not sure what Lukey's done with him the last couple of weeks, but he's back.
7 disposals, 2 tackles, Merritt's up to 15. Thanks to Dodo.
Got it out. Free kick's going to be paid. Non-controlling umpire. Who is it?
I think it's Liberatore.
It's going the Doggies. It's Libba.
Because Libba got pushed away from Merritt. He was all over that umpire. Well umpired.
All right, Libba's got it. Looks a bit dazed, actually, Libba.
He does, actually.
That's what he looks like.
All right,
that's his normal face.
That's normal. Libba looking very normal at the moment.
Thank you.
Got it on centre wing for the Dogs. They lead by 7 points. He's got a lead coming up by Bontempelli over the top of him. Ball hits the ground. Bagley's there, needs to pick it up. Does. Goes back to Hurley. Oh, he's under pressure. Johannesson's there. He's got to make it interesting. Coming through. Merritt, good. Got away from one. Quick handball away. Now to Clean. They could be out here, the Dogs. The handball to Dalhouse. Centre of the ground. He'll bring it inboard now. Coming over the top is Wallace. Didn't take it. McGrath. Ball hits the ground. There's Myers. Wallace needs to get it up to Pickett. Did. Got it to the hot spot. One-on-ones everywhere. Bontempelli. He'll kick it off the ground. One of the great goals. SEN Chisholm gave a goal of the day. Oh, he's a good player. The Doggies are 14-10-94. Spud, I want to hear about this 11-15-81.
Well, we'll talk about the goal, but I want to talk about Mitch Wallace. He won a 2-on-1 over the other side. He kept his feet. His hands from ground level were absolutely outstanding. You have a look on the Chemist Warehouse replay here. 2-on-1. He held his feet. McGrath goes to ground. Now he puts his head over the ball. Deft little handball to Pickett to the top of the square. Outstanding play. Bontempelli holds his feet, competes 2-on-1, kicks it off the ground.
Gee, I reckon
great team goal.
Zach Merritt on the tape. He's going to be filthy about the handball he coughed up down here.
Gee, that's a good team goal, that one.
So Doggies through Dalhouse go forward again. Up towards full foot. Bontempelli 2-on-1. He's not going to turn another one, is he? Wrapped up, good enough to get boot to ball. Play on.
Yes,
keeps it alive. Chance for Webb. Stumbles. Top of the square. Pickett comes at it hard. Can't take the mark. Hurley at ground level. Just stumps it out of there. High ball. Right to the arc of 50. Hunter goes back. Can't take the mark. Heppel. Bombers have got to respond here. They've got to stand up. Ball stays alive. Bell Chambers beelines it. Collier can't take it. Roughhead. Chance to go now again for the Doggies. Dalhouse farms it out the back to Biggs. Being good. Gets away from Watson a bit easily.
Got to nail that.
Drives it in towards the pocket again. Pack fly. Wallace brings it to ground. Over the back. Going towards the footy. Hurley and Bontempelli want to match up out of bounds.
Well, it's just the little things, Ox, that gives you a little bit of ground position, allows your forwards to reset. Joe Watson has to nail that tackle. All he had to do was just wrap it up, sit the caravan, toe right behind him, park the caravan on top of him.
I fear for Joe Watson horribly.
13 points to diff. Wallace farms it out to Dalhouse. Was he taken high? No. Bagley's kick smothered. Doggies all over it. A goal here would be absolutely crucial. Ball not coming out. We'll have a ball.
Another thing Beveridge has looked at, he's going to have to keep Bontempelli on Hurley. As soon as he took Bontempelli off Hurley in the second quarter,
it didn't work.
He was the best player on the ground. He needs to keep him there.
Chance here for the Dogs. Bell Chambers got down. Free kick! It's going to go to rough hand. It's against Bell Chambers for incorrect contact in the lead up to the ball up.
This is just concentration.
Let's have a look at it.
Fatigue. We've got 1 minute and 34 left.
Talk us through it. Oh, he's taking his eyes off him, hit him in the throat.
That's a free kick. He's handing him in the throat. Eyes off the ball. It's just concentration. Fatigue sets in. Your fundamentals just go out the door. You've just got to will yourself to wait for that siren 3/4 time to have a spell. Not then. Well,
the good thing is that Roughhead's only kicked 3 for the year. So if any player out there, a little bit rusty, that's not him. Because he splits the bloody middle.
What a kick.
Done Ruffy. And now they've got 15. 15-10, 100. The Bombers 11-15-81. And for Essendon supporters, a couple of things here today that you're just going to go away with and say, gee whiz, we are not up to scratch, and there's some players that are really battling for form, and we'll talk through that a little bit later on.
You said it earlier in the call, Spud. They have got their mojo back, and you can feel it. Their excitement, they're getting around each other. They average 82 points per game. They're on 100, 15-10, 100. Coming up to end of the third quarter, they are playing some just nice, electrifying, percentage-based football.
Well, they've been inside forward 50 14 times for 7 goals for Dodo this quarter.
Dallin Spud for Jinhang, McLean bangs them forward again. Bontempelli, ever-present danger down there. Another whistle on play, push. Going to be an Essendon free kick.
And unfortunately, the Bombers, they've been in 12 times for 4 goals 5. So inaccurate shooting for goal is killing it at the moment.
Bagley short to Kelly. He goes to Gleeson, short ball to Goddard. Not over yet for the Bombers, 19 points the margin. Biggest lead of the day for the Bulldogs, but they were good enough to come back from 19 down early in the first.
Dogs doing a fantastic job to slow the Bombers' ball movement up.
Goddard has to go long down the line. Hooker can't mark. Ground level Stewart can't do anything with the crumb. Through the pack goes Myers. Fumble was Collier. Batted down Zaharakis off hands, ball in. 33, nearly 34 gone in this high-scoring third quarter. 7 goals to the Bulldogs, 4 to the Bombers. They led by 5 at halftime. They lead by 19 now.
Luke Beveridge on the boundary line. He'd be proud as punch at the minute.
Danaher in the ruck, tries to find Myers, cuts back inboard, taken over the line with ball in hand by Dalhouse. Not sure why Danaher goes in and pushes him over, completely unnecessary. Ball in. Throw in. Danaher, rough in. Dying stages, third quarter. Free kick again. Going to be an Essendon free kick going to Danaher.
BA Danny Myers coming off holding the right
hamstring for David Myers at the moment for Sleep Dentistry Melbourne. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the three-quarter time break, but the Bombers could be one down here.
Oh, he'll be devastated. He's had a battle, soft tissue and all sorts of injuries throughout his career. And
going down the rooms too, David Myers.
We'll keep an eye on that with you. Injury updates, of course, for Sleep Dentistry Melbourne. Whew, we got to take stock here. That was an outstanding quarter of footy from the Western Bulldogs, and they stretch a 5-point halftime lead into 19 at three-quarter time. Can the Bombers come again? We'll find out on the other side of the break. 15-10, 111, 15-81 after the break. We'll see who's winning the key matchups for Toyota. Material Handling, Australia's first choice for new and used Toyota forklifts. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. This is 11-16 SEN footy for Toyota's Good for Footy program, encouraging all Australians to have a crack in Subway, my kind of winter win.
This quarter of SEN football was brought to you by Tyre Power. At Tyre Power, pick up a Karcher high-pressure cleaner when you buy 4 selected Continental tyres.